The sound of the baby crying filled the mansion. Mira stood near the front door with her small suitcase, her hands shaking. Alexander Grant, one of the most powerful black businessmen in Atlanta, stood across from her, cold and distant. "You're lying, Mira," he said. "That baby isn't mine." His voice was calm but sharp. Myra's eyes were red from crying. "Alex, please," she whispered, "you know the truth." He turned away without another word. The mansion looked expensive but empty. The marble floors echoed as Mira stepped closer to him, hoping he would change his mind. "You can take whatever money you want," Alex said without looking back. "But you're not staying here with a child that isn't mine." Mira froze. She wasn't after his money, she wanted his belief. The silence between them felt heavy. Then, she wiped her face and walked out the door, clutching her baby to her chest. Outside, rain started to fall. Mira didn't have a car, and she didn't know where she would go. She stood on the sidewalk, shivering, watching the mansion lights fade behind her. Every step she took away from that house felt like cutting a piece of her heart. She had worked for him, cared for him, and loved him in silence, until everything ended in one cruel moment. But she didn't look back again. Inside the mansion, Alex sat down on the couch, trying to ignore the pain he couldn't explain. The baby's cries still echoed in his ears even after she was gone. He told himself he did the right thing, that he wasn't going to be fooled. But deep down, something inside him felt off, something that wouldn't let him sleep that night or the nights that followed. It was a regular Monday morning in Atlanta. Alexander Grant walked into his company's glass building downtown, surrounded by assistants and security. He was now one of the richest real estate moguls in the state, owning hotels, condos, and luxury estates across the city. Everyone respected him, but nobody really knew him. He barely smiled. The world saw success, but inside, Alex was still restless. He never married, never dated seriously, and avoided questions about family. During a board meeting, Alex's assistant, Marcus, handed him a file about a new land development. "It's an old community center in Southside Atlanta," Marcus said. "You wanted it checked before demolition." Alex opened the folder without interest at first, until he saw a familiar name. Myra's Foundation Center. Art paused for a moment. "Who runs this?" he asked quietly. "Some woman named Mira Jones," Marcus said. Alex didn't respond. He closed the file quickly and stared at the table in silence. That night, Alex couldn't focus. He sat in his penthouse apartment, staring out at the city lights. Could it be the same Mira? He hadn't heard her name in 10 years. He told himself it couldn't be. She probably moved on. Still, something in him needed to know. The guilt he buried started crawling back. He opened his laptop, looked up the address of the community center, and sat there for a long time, debating whether to go. The next morning, Alex drove himself to the south side. It was far from his usual world of luxury cars and business suits. The streets were quiet, the buildings worn down but full of life. When he parked outside the community center, he saw kids playing basketball, and laughter echoed through the open windows. Then he heard a woman's voice reading to children. His heart raced. That voice, calm, kind, familiar. He walked closer to the door, pushed it open, and froze. Alexander stepped inside quietly. The room smelled of crayons and old paint. Children sat on the floor, listening to a woman read from a storybook. When she looked up, time stopped. It was Mira. Her hair was shorter now, her face older but still strong. She froze mid-sentence. The book slipped slightly from her hand. The kids looked around, confused by the silence. "Miss Mira," one of them whispered. She blinked, forcing a calm smile. "Let's take a short break," she said softly. Children ran outside. Alex stood still, not knowing what to say. Mira didn't move either. 10 years of anger, pain, and regret filled the space between them. "You built all this?" he asked, his voice low. She nodded. "I had to," she replied. "No one else was going to do it." Her tone was calm but tired. She wasn't the same woman who left crying that night. She was stronger now. "Why are you here, Alex?" she asked without emotion. He hesitated. "I didn't know you were still in Atlanta." Before he could say more, a young boy came running in, holding a basketball. He stopped when he saw Alex. The boy's face froze in curiosity, same brown eyes, same sharp jawline, same little frown when confused. It was like looking into a mirror. "Mira," Alex whispered, his voice breaking slightly, "who is this?" Myra's body tensed. "He's my son," she said simply. Alex's eyes moved back to the boy. His mind struggled to form words. The truth was hitting him too fast to process. The boy looked between them, then pointed his finger at Alex. "Mom," he said quietly, "that's my father, right?" Myra's lips trembled. She didn't answer. She didn't have to. Alex stepped back, feeling like the ground disappeared under his feet. His chest tightened. 10 years of denial turned into one heavy truth. The boy's words echoed in the room, louder than any sound Alex had heard in his life. Alex didn't speak for almost a full minute. His heart raced, his throat dry. Mira told the boy to step outside and play. Once the door shut, Alex looked straight at her. "You had my son, and you never told me," he said. His voice was low but filled with controlled anger. Mira crossed her arms, meeting his gaze. "You were gone, Alex. You left when I needed you the most. You were chasing money, deals, and a lifestyle that didn't have space for me." Alex took a deep breath, trying to keep calm. "You should have called. You should have told me," he said. "You think it was easy? You think I wanted to raise a child alone?" Myra's voice cracked for the first time. The air between them turned thick. The sound of kids laughing outside only made it worse. "You think I didn't check on you?" Mira continued. "I followed your life online. The mansion, the parties, the magazine covers. Tell me, Alex, where would a child fit in all that?" Her question hit deep. He turned away, unable to respond. He remembered every night he told himself he was too busy to reach out, every excuse that now sounded hollow. "I didn't know how bad I hurt you," he muttered. "You didn't want to know," she replied coldly. Silence stretched again. Then, Alex turned back toward her. "Let me be in his life," he said quietly. "He deserves to know his father." Mira looked unsure. Her eyes softened but didn't trust him yet. "He deserves stability, Alex. Not confusion. Not disappointment." Her words stung more than he expected. He nodded slowly, realizing that forgiveness wouldn't come easy this time. Alex walked toward the door. The boy ran up and hugged his leg. "Will you come back tomorrow?" the boy asked. Alex swallowed hard and nodded. "I will," he said softly. Mira watched them, her expression unreadable. For the first time in years, Alex felt small, like a man who had finally met the part of himself he had been running from. The next morning, Alex sat in his car outside Myra's house, staring at the front door. He had spent the entire night thinking about what to say, how to make things right. His phone buzzed non-stop with calls from his business partners, investors, meetings, and press, but for the first time, none of that mattered. He was here for his son. When Mira finally opened the door, she didn't say a word. She just looked at him with tired eyes and stepped aside. The boy came running from the living room, smiling. "Dad! You came back," he said. The word Dad hit Alex's chest like a punch, soft, but deep. He bent down, hugged him tight, and whispered, "I'll never leave again." Mira watched quietly. She didn't interrupt, but her mind was racing. Could she trust him again? Could a man who disappeared for 10 years suddenly change? "We need to talk," she said once the boy ran to the backyard. Alex nodded and followed her to the kitchen. "I'm not the same man I was," he said. I built everything I wanted, money, status, all of it, and it means nothing without family. Mira sighed. You say that now because you feel guilty. But what happens when the world starts pulling you again? Her words hit him like truth he couldn't deny. Then I'll fight back this time, he replied. For him. For us. The conversation stretched for hours. They talked about missed birthdays, medical bills, school memories, years of moments that Alex had lost. At some point, Mira started to soften. He deserves both of us, she said. But you'll have to earn it, Alex. Slowly. He agreed. There was no argument, no defense, just acceptance. He knew he had caused too much damage to expect instant forgiveness. But he was willing to do the work now that as the sun set, Mira walked him out. The boy ran out again, holding a small drawing. Look, Dad, it's us. Alex smiled, his throat tightening. It's perfect, he said, holding back tears. Mira looked at him, then at their son, and said quietly, don't make promises you can't keep. Alex nodded, placing his hand on the boy's head. This one, he said firmly, I'll keep forever.